Hi, and welcome to the 21 days to ignite your passion and activate your faith. I'm really proud of you that you took this step. The fact that you downloaded the ebook and that you're watching this video right now is an indication that God is drawing near. When He draws near, when He calls us, He draws near. That means that when we draw near, He allows us to find Him. So it's such a blessing and such a blessed place to be in. This is a prophetic time. This is the time in the season. God is really rising up a people. And I believe that intimacy and seeking Him is where we grow and where we really help to expand the kingdom. It's in those relationships, in that personal relationship that we each have with God, that we have His ear when we come into the throne room of heaven. And as we draw near and He draws near, as He draws near and draws us near, we come to know Him. And as we come to know Him, He comes to know us. So I am excited that you're here. I'm excited that you're seeking God, and I'm excited for all the marvelous things He's about to do in your life. Let's start with the introduction. The introduction, you're able to read. I'm not going to read through it, but it does have 6 key points. It starts with putting your confidence in God. And putting your confidence in God is not the same as trusting. It's different. I talk about it in chapter 12, putting your confidence in God, day 12. Putting your confidence in God and trusting God are 2 very different things, but don't worry about that. Just say that. Just say, I put my confidence in you, God. That's all you need to do at this moment. And just remember that He's the one that's going to ignite your passion. He's the one that's drawing you near. He's the one who is coming close to you as you come close to Him. Also, I want to remind you to do this one day at a time. Each day is designed for its own day. If you go ahead of it, if you go and read a few days ahead, first of all, it's going to take away the desire to want to do it the following day, but it's too rich. It's like eating a 10-pound cheesecake at once. You know, it's meant to be savored. It's designed to be very rich portions of meat, of morsels, but in increments. Every day, it's like manna. Every day has its own manna. So every day, just commit to going to the next day. Stay on your day. Don't peak, just stay on that day and go through it. And let God transform you. Let God speak to you. Let God show you things that He wants to show you. And allow yourself for God to show you these things. Okay? Also prepare. You don't necessarily have to do the 21 days the moment you download it. You can look at your schedule, and if you see the schedule and it says, you know, next week I'm going to have this really big project at work. I'm not going to be able to really dedicate it. I really want to do this. And take note here. When I say prepare, doesn't mean wait for everything to be perfect, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're going to have to schedule it in, and you're going to have to will it. You're going to have to want to do it every day for 21 days. But if you know that there's something kind of special that's going to take more of your time, you know, be wise, use wisdom, prepare, and schedule it. Get your calendar, either pull it out. Some people like to write on their calendar. Some people have Google Calendar to send them reminders. That would be me. I'm a Google Calendar kind of person, so that it can send me texts and remind me, oh yeah, okay, I got to do this. I haven't done this today. It's on my to-do list. And that way you have a vision. You have, you know, a start date and an end date, and you're making it. You're committing to it. You're making your mind that you're going to finish these 21 days. You also want to plan on obstacles. Plan on obstacles, distractions, and stuff. I didn't write that, but plan on it. Plan on it. Plan on it, because the moment that you decide that you want to pursue God diligently with your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit, things will happen. All of a sudden, you know, you keep on pushing it, you keep on pushing it, you keep on pushing it. Decide what time of day you're going to spend those 15 minutes with God. Is it going to be in the middle of the day? Is it going to be in the beginning of the day? Is it going to be in the end of the day? And then stick to it. But if you have to push it up, at least you know you don't go on the whole day and then you're in bed and you're like, oh my goodness, I haven't, you know, prepare. Make sure what time of day it is that you want. If it's in the morning time, if it's in the afternoon at lunch break, or is it in the evening once you get home and you're unwinding. For me, I do it first thing in the morning. I give Him everything. I give Him my time. I give Him everything. I give Him my tithe of the day that day in the morning. if I have to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I have to be somewhere at 8, and then that's what I have to do. But that's what I do. That's just something that I do, just sharing. Not something you have to do, but that's just something that I do. Also, and plan for obstacles. They're going to happen. Guess what? The enemy doesn't want you to have an intimate relationship with God and for your passion to be ignited. So, plan on it and then just will it. Commit to it. Make sure that you will it. And then there's going to be days that everything is going to be perfect and you're just not going to feel like it. And you know what? Get your heart and your mind and your soul into the position that says, you know what? I'm going to do it even when I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it especially when I don't feel like it. And believe it or not, those will be the days that you'll have your biggest breakthroughs, and those will be the days that God will really spend and talk to you in ways that had you not done that, you would have missed it. And those are the days. Red flag, days that you don't want to do it, do it. Make yourself do it and watch. Send me the testimonies, I promise you. I promise you. Also, get connected. Get with some of your friends, get with a group of ladies, and stay connected. You won't necessarily have to be doing the 15 minutes all together at once. Everybody does their 15 minutes separately. That's your personal commitment to the Lord. But you can come and share. You can share, I read this morning, and this is how the Lord ministered to me, and this is what, what it spoke to my heart. And, I've been doing, share, believe it or not. Getting connected makes you accountable. And it will produce a greater harvest for you. So get connected. The other thing is negative self-talk. Watch your negative self-talk. Watch your self-talk. If you're going to talk to yourself, make sure it's the best conversations you've ever had. You're being your cheerleader. You're being your life coach. No negative talk. No negative talk. And if you struggle with negative talk the way that I used to struggle with negative self-talk, I want you to go straight to chapter 21. I'm going to start a segment with day 1 and day 21 because for me, negative self-talk was such a challenge, was such an obstacle for me. I would, do everything. I would pursue the Lord. I would come before Him. I would press in. And then when I was by myself, I would just give it to myself. I would say things that I was so unconscious that I was doing it. It was so natural to me to have negative self-talk. And I'm not talking about self-esteem. I'm not talking about self-esteem. I'm not talking about self-esteem the way we know self-esteem. I'm talking about self-respect. Self-respect in the way the Lord has required us to have self-respect. As in, love your neighbor as you love yourself. There is no way you can love your neighbor unless you have self-respect. And if you can't find value in loving yourself just because of who God created in you, love yourself because you're someone precious to Christ. You're someone precious to the Father. Love yourself as someone who is loved, who is highly favored and loved beyond anything. So much so, love so much so that Jesus would rather have died than live without you. That's how precious you are to Him. So if you can't do it for yourself, which is what I had to do for myself, I had to see my value in His eyes. When I saw how valuable I was to Him, and then I was able to honor myself and respect myself in that way. Not that, and I'm not talking about being grievous, like you're beating yourself, I'm talking about the negative self-talk that is so deprecating and so detrimental to your spirit, because you are your greatest influencer. There is a statistic that says that you are the sum total of the 5 people that you most spend your time with during the day. And if you forget to put yourself in that list, or if you don't include God in that list, you are in trouble. So make sure that you kind of review the 5 people that you spend your most time with. Include yourself, and please include God. Include Him in that, because you want Him to be your biggest influence and you to be your biggest influencer, right? So you encourage yourself the way David did in the Bible. And in the Psalms, he would say, "Why are you downcast, O my soul?" And he would encourage himself in the Lord. And he would speak things that were honorable because they awaken, they quicken your spirit. So beware of the negative self-talk if you struggle with it, or maybe even think you struggle with it or not sure. Instead of going to day 1, go to day 21. No harm, no foul. I had to start at day 21, so it's okay. It's all good. All right? So I pray this has blessed you. I'll see you for the prayer in the next segment.